Get to Aldmeri and locate Saren. She needs to tell us more about Chodala and then help us acquire his staff. Without it, we can't restore Vivec. Meanwhile, I need to placate the populace. The people grow concerned over Vivec's continuing isolation.
What's happening to Vivec again?
Didn't we cover this? Let me refresh your memory. Lord Vivec suffers stoically as his divine energy drains away. Neither my administrations nor his defenses have been sufficient to plug the hole, so we've isolated him to keep panic to a minimum.
What's causing Vivec's loss of divine energy?
If we knew for certain, we wouldn't be sending you to make a deal with a heretical Ashlander, now would we? Chodala must have something to do with Vivec's energy loss, but the how and why remain a mystery. That's why I must examine that staff.
Why do you think the staff is important?
Everything you uncovered suggests the staff and Sotha Sil's missing tool are one and the same, and it's obviously connected to Chodala's newfound powers. Bring it back here so I can study it. The solution resides in the staff. I'm sure of it.
Why do you think the people are going to panic?
Experience, Outlander. Experience. I have seen the Dunmer rage against the gods at the least provocation. When they realize that Vivec is ill, that his powers are failing, they'll weep and gnash their teeth like frightened children.
You really expect that strong a reaction just because Vivec's ill? Oh, I think I will react that way because the god that I worship is dying.
The people don't handle the infirmities of their deities very well, especially when those infirmities could foreshadow Red Mountain's eruption or portend the moonlets fall from the sky. Once such fear ignites, it spreads like wildfire.
What does the tribunal think of the Ashlanders?
They try not to think about them at all. The Ashlanders are savages. They refuse to acknowledge the supremacy of Lord Vivec in the tribunal, instead putting their faith in the despicable Daedra. They're heretics, pure and simple.
Do you really think this could lead to all-out war with the Ashlanders?
The Ashlanders hold to superstitions the way Quama protect their eggs. If they really considered Chodala to be the Nerevarine, then any action you take against him will enrage the tribes. Talk to Saren and see if she can suggest an alternative course.
Okay then. Let's go do that. Hello guys, Wisa here. As you may have noticed, our character looks very different because we have been through some changes in the past couple of weeks. Now, I'm already level 27 because I've been engaging in dungeons and whatnot. And we also got a new pet from QuakeCon. So let's continue with our adventure. Divine Delusions. Instead of confronting Chodala directly, the Archcanon suggests I return to Aldruin and talk to his sister Serene. She was willing to help me last time and might be willing to do so again. Why don't we use the Way Shrine for this? Okay, where is the sister? Oh, that tiny circle over there. Let's go. Kindly excuse my voice as I'm currently ill. I do have colds at the moment, so that's why I probably sound like somewhat of a robot.
Outlander, quickly! This way!
Quickly?
I've been thinking about my brother's claim that he's the Nerevarine since we last spoke. No matter how I try, the word tastes false on my tongue. And now I fear he's about to convince the wise woman that his quest for power will benefit the tribes.
What can I do to help?
My brother is respected and revered. He has allies in all of the tribes, not to mention his personal Red exiles. We have to proceed with caution. Respect the Ashlander customs and traditions. Anything else will lead to violence and bloodshed.
So what do we do?
We talk to my brother. Try to convince him this isn't the way. Barring that, we make sure the wise woman doesn't get drawn into his madness. Whatever Chodala says or does, don't attack him. We don't need a war between the houses and the Ashlanders.
I'll follow your lead.
The wise woman. I was hoping she'd be here.
You're too late, dear sister. Despite your protestations, the wise woman has gone to the cave of the incarnate to confirm my claim.
Brother, do you really want to pursue this dangerous course?
There was a time when you gave me your unconditional support, Seren. I miss those days.
My brother Chodala's about to do something foolish and dangerous. But by dusk and dawn, Azura put you and I on the same path for a purpose. I just hope we have enough time.
What's Chodala going to do?
He's about to claim the title of the Nerevarine and try to unite the Ashlander tribes gathered here. He already convinced the Red Exiles to support him. He's using them to intimidate the other tribes. If he persuaded the Wise Woman to his cause...
Tell me about the Wise Woman.
Wise Woman Dovrasi, the most respected counselor and spirit guide this side of Red Mountain. She went to the Cavern of the Incarnate to meditate on Chodala's claim. If she confirms my brother's assertion, the tribes will follow wherever he leads.
We need to talk to the Wise Woman, yeah!
Agreed, but I dare not leave Chodala alone with the tribes. I feel the hand of Azura in all this. Go to the Cavern of the Incarnate and talk to the Wise Woman. I'll stay here and try to keep things under control until you return.
Then I'll head for the Cavern of the Incarnate.
The cavern's to the northeast of Aldrin, on the other side of the mountain. Hopefully, the rumbling and lava won't slow you down too much. Get to the cavern and talk to the Wise Woman. If she accepts Chodala's claim about the Nerevarine...
What's the Cavern of the Incarnate?
My brother isn't the first to believe he's Nerevar returned. All of the previous failed incarnates rest within the cavern. A statue of Azura watches over them as they await the arrival of the true Nerevarine.
Tell me more about the Nerevarine.
Azura proclaimed that someday, Indorel Nerevar, a hero from our ancient past, would return to unite the Dark Elves and right the wrongs of Nirn. We call the returned incarnate the Nerevarine. My brother Chodala believes that he's Nerevar reborn.
You don't agree with your brother?
When Chodala became a Gulakan, a champion of our people, I supported him. When he stepped forward as Ashkan, leader of our tribe, I was at his side. But this new claim, it comes with strange powers and talk of war. I can't support those things.
At least she is sensible to stand her ground and not go into war and chaos and bloodshed.
She won't refuse my claim.
Oh.
Just in case, make sure the Red Exiles are ready.
Your word is law, Nerevarine.
Now, where do we have to go? Well, let's go ahead and see that Wise Woman. What do you guys think about the story so far?
Ah, a fellow outsider in this inhospitable sea of ash. I wonder if we might help.
Nope, I cannot help you at this moment. We have a mission to complete. Okay, that is very, very far away. I don't think... Okay, we can use this way shrine over here. And then we'll just have to go to it by horse. Or by wolf. So I got this wolf in the Dark Brotherhood event that was held back in July.
Azura is my shield, you foul creatures.
We're finally here. Let's use our bear. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're incapacitated. Oh, I thought the Wise Woman will help us. Okay, so it's a good thing that summoning the bear cannot be interrupted. No!
Thank you for aiding me, but I sense you came for a different purpose. Let's talk inside the cavern. An outlander. Surely there must be another way. No, my lady, of course not. I'll do as you ask. Come here, Outlander. We must talk. It feels strange to talk to an Outlander in such a sacred place, but the Queen of the Night Sky insists. I need to render judgment on an important claim, and she says you can help me reach the correct decision.
You have come to the right person, and your Queen of the Night Sky is correct. This is about Chodala and the Nerevarine, right?
Words of truth from the mouth of an Outlander. Remarkable. The Red Exiles and a few others believe that Chodala is the Nerevarine. He's convinced them, but not me. I came here to consider my options. I fear a bloodbath if I oppose his claim.
Isn't there a way to prove he's not the Nerevarine?
Perhaps, but I must remain impartial. If someone else reveals the flaws in Chodala's claims by comparing him to the failed incarnates, that might do the trick.
The failed incarnates? Who are these? Were they the ones who wanted to be the next Nerevar but failed to do so?
We thought the incarnates were possessed by the spirit of Nerevar, but each had a critical flaw that made them destined to fail to fulfill the prophecy. Their spirits reside here. Yes, you should speak to the incarnates. I see Azura's wisdom now.
How do I talk to the spirits of the incarnates?
Take this pouch of blessed grave dust. Sprinkle a pinch upon the bones of the incarnates to call forth their spirits. Return to Aldrin after you have learned all you can. Perhaps we can curb Chodala's ambitions before they lead us to war. We need knowledge to defeat Chodala, Outlander. Listen well to what the failed incarnates have to say.
Whoa. Danat?
The Nerevarine remains a promise unfulfilled. And I am as guilty of prideful posturing as every other failed incarnate that occupies this hall. Ask your question and let's be done with this, Outlander.
What ended your quest to become the Nerevarine?
The Nerevarine must listen as well as proclaim. I refuse to accept wise counsel, which led to the doom of my tribe and the end of my quest to embody the spirit of Nerevar. Take my scroll and remind the wise woman that wisdom ignored is ignorance.
Ooh. What a way to fail. Okay, let's check this out. Is that the corpse? Oh no, Ranso.
We are the failed incarnates. The Ashlanders who proudly proclaimed themselves to be the Nerevarine, but were found wanting. The Lady of Dawn and Dusk urged us to cooperate. So ask your question, Outlander.
What flaw made you fail to fulfill the prophecy?
Take my scroll and help the wise woman see the lie of unbridled power. I thought myself the reborn Nerevar, for I was the strongest, most powerful warrior in all the land. But power alone won't save my people. In the end, it couldn't even save me.
Ooh. Okay. Aduri.
Once I was the hope of my people, but then my claim was proven false. Now I wait, and I hope for the Nerevarion's return. State your question, Outlander, and I shall do as Azura urges.
They decided you weren't the Nerevarine. Why?
To fulfill the prophecy, I followed a path of blood and war. In the end, my path became a road that led nowhere, and I was cast down from my lofty spot. Take my scroll, and help the wise woman understand the futility of a senseless war.
Mortal, let us speak.
Okay.
I foresaw your usefulness before you even set foot in Vvardenfell. Now comes a test that will challenge your ability to separate truth from lies. You must convince the tribes that Chodola is not the Nerevarine.
I communed with the incarnates just as the wise woman commanded.
Doversy's wisdom outshines most other mortals. She recognizes the futility of Chodola's claim. If she rebuffs him, however, the tribes will turn on each other, and blood will flow. The staff, Sunra, it makes Chodola confident, reckless.
The staff is the source of Chodola's power.
Your instincts serve you well. Chodola's path took a dark turn. However, my sight clouds when I look too closely. Sothasil built Sunra, but he did not create it with this vile purpose in mind. You must act on my behalf, and Vivek's.
I'll do what you ask.
Then go. Return to Aldrun and help the wise woman reveal the falsehood of Chodola's claim. And let Saren assist you. She is my champion and a trusted friend of all Ashlanders.
How do I prove that Chodola isn't the Nerevarine?
Use what the Incarnate shared with you. Their failures point the way toward Chodola's downfall. But beware Chodola's power. He may not be the Nerevarine, but some greater agency has lent strength to his conviction.
This is a good question, actually. Why don't you simply reveal the truth to the Ashlanders?
Due to an ancient pact, I am not permitted to interfere in the affairs of Nirn. Even this casual discussion pushes the boundaries of that agreement. Instead, I must work through trusted agents, such as yourself and Saren.
Why are you helping Vivek? I thought you and the Tribunal were enemies because Azura is a Daedra.
Helping that arrogant imposter? Whatever gave you the idea that I was helping that murderer? Vvardenfell must stand. Everything I do in this regard serves that single goal. Best that you remember that, mortal.
Well, that question got her riled up. What the Incarnates had in common was all of them wanted power. That was their predominant goal instead of serving the people. So it seems like Chodola is similar to one of the Incarnates who wants blood and war, and he is powerful because of his Sunara staff. So we'll talk to Saren and see what she has to say, or see what she has planned. There's a nearby way shrine up here. Let's go over there. I like the part where the Incarnates were telling us what they did wrong. At least they came to that realization instead of dying and not having been aware of what they did. At least there was some sort of awareness. There you go. Let's go back here. Okay, so we're going to Serene to talk to her about what we found out from the failed incarnates. And let's see what she has to say. Oops, okay, I am interfering with your dinner. Oops, wrong way, guys, wrong way. There you are.
Thank the moon and star. You've returned. The wise woman returned from the cavern of the Incarnate and went right into Scar to meet with the tribes. Chodola's in there too, about to be named the Nerevarine. Tell me you came back with something to stop my brother's rise to power.
I spoke to some of the Incarnates and they gave me these scrolls.
Ah, of course. Use the tales of the failed Incarnates to counter Chodola's arguments. That's brilliant. Well, except for one problem.
Problem?
An Outlander has no status in the Council. The Ashlanders won't listen to a word you say. Someone else has to present the arguments. Someone they trust. I suppose that means I have to challenge my brother. With your help, of course.
Wait, how can we do that? I mean, what kind of help will we be able to provide her? Or will we talk to her before the council meeting? How can I help you if I can't talk during the council?
You spoke to the Incarnates, not me. I'm familiar with their stories, but I'll need you to help me choose the appropriate argument to counter each of Chodala's claims. I hate opposing my brother in this. I just don't see another way.
Why should I give you Incarnate Ranso's scroll? Or when, rather?
Incarnate Ranso was strong and powerful. He thought that by strength alone, he could unite the Ashlanders. He failed. When Chodala proclaims his power, that's when we'll refer to this scroll's sad tale.
When should I give you Incarnate Aduri's scroll?
Incarnate Aduri was a champion of my people. She defended us against great threats. But when she grew to love war for war's sake, she proved she wasn't the Nerevarine. When Chodala proclaims that war is the answer, hand me this scroll.
When should I give you the Incarnate Danat scroll?
Incarnate Danat thought his way was the best way. He rejected the counsel of the Wise Women and the Ashkans, something Nerevar would never do. When Chodala proclaims he knows better than anyone, we'll use this scroll.
Okay, let's go!
Meet me inside.
I like that there's a review section for us before we go inside. It's like school again.
Must we continue this farce? It's obvious that I'm the Nerevarine.
Someone has stepped forward to challenge your claim, Chodala.
Seren, I'm disappointed in you, dear sister.
Enough. I shall hear your arguments and render my decision.
Even the Outlander can see that I'm the most powerful Ashkan. My strength alone proves that I am the Nerevarine.
Strength?
Chodala puts forth his great strength as proof of his claim. Give me the scroll that discounts such a trait for the Nerevarine.
Okay.
Yes, that's a sound argument. Incarnate, appear!
Oh, cool!
As a warrior and as an Ashkan, I was the most powerful of my age. But for all my strength, I failed my people. Don't follow my example.
The faithless houses dare to threaten our land, but we shall meet them in battle, and I will lead us to victory.
War lover.
This is more nerve-wracking than I anticipated. Which scroll do you recommend to counter this argument? That makes sense. I'll try. Incarnate, appear!
I thought the path to the Nerevarine was a path of blood and battle, but my love of war was my undoing. War is not the way.
These failed incarnates prove nothing. I need no counsel but my own, as befits my status as the Nerevarine.
I think it's working. One more strong assertion, and that should do it.
Okay.
Of course. Let's see what happens.
Okay, wait. Before I click on this, it's just funny that Serene was the one who gave us instructions or reviewed who the failed incarnates were and what they did, and yet she needed our help to sort through the scrolls. Pretty odd though, right?
Incarnate, appear!
I refuse to accept the counsel of the Wise Women and the Ashkans. I thought I knew best, but I knew nothing. That is not the way of the Nerevarine.
Seren and the Outlander, their arguments have merit. Chodala, we deny your claim. You are not the Nerevarine.
Okay, defeat the
This
Red
proves nothing.
Exiles.
Look how the staff protects me. I am the Nerevarine. Red
Let's
Exiles,
go.
slay the
Brother,
unbelievers.
no!
Ow. Of course the soldiers attack us. Is there anybody else? Ow. now. I'm not sure of how much help we're getting from our bear or Eternal Guardian, if it's significant or not. I think this may be the last one. Gulakan use Zashten. Yep, the tongue twister name. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm hitting her with our heavy attack so I can replenish our magicka so we can eventually use her other skills. There we go. Now we follow Serene.
Go to my hut and get my healers.
I hate
Nope.
what my brother's become.
Right away, wise woman.
Oh!
Mortal,
What happened?
have words with you.
Oh, Azura possessing Serene, huh?
Chodola has been revealed as a failed Nerevarine, but that hasn't dissuaded him from his reckless course of action. As long as he wields the staff, he shall be unstoppable.
So what should we do?
Time is against you, mortal. Even now, Vivek, that pompous usurper, grows increasingly weaker. As much as I deplore him, Vivek cannot fall to Chodola's vile magic. There's another power at work here. One I can't quite put my finger on.
There must be something I can do.
Return to Vivek City. Do what you can to aid Vivek, and pay heed to my faithful vessel, Saren. I name her Champion of the Moon and Star. She will play a pivotal role in ending her brother's march toward godhood, if she survives.
Okay, I'll return to Vivek City.
That was exhilarating.
Okay, she sounded pretty happy to have been possessed. Now let's go back and see what's up with Vivek. Is he
a
still
fellow
alive?
outsider in this inhospitable sea of ash. I wonder if we might help each other.
Nope, I'm afraid we cannot help each other at this very moment. What part of the quest are we in right now? Divine Delusions.
Red Mountain's particularly active today.
Oh, look at how weak Vivek is now.
As a god weakens, so too does his city suffer. I know my people grow fearful. Even the Archcanon is distressed. But the energy that remains to me holds the moonlit in the sky, at least for now. So what news does my eyes and ears bring to me?
We discredited Chodola as the Nerevarine, but he escaped with Sunara.
How this upstart Ashlander learned to attune Sotha Seal's tool confounds my understanding. And he dares use my power? Still, your help is appreciated. Every strike and parry takes us one step closer to ending this threat and restoring my vitality.
Due to Lord Vivek's condition, it falls upon us to find a solution.
Voice of the Failed Incarnates. Okay, so we're going to be in the fourth part of the mission.
Lord Vivek must conserve his remaining energy, so we need to solve this problem on our own. It all comes back to Chodala. That damned Ashlander's draining the warrior poet's power. We need to stop him and get that damn staff.
Sunara makes Chodala invulnerable. How do we circumvent the staff?
How should I know? That's not a skill the Tribunal teaches. Return to Barrelzar's tower and get Sothasil's former apprentice to come up with some kind of countermeasure. I'm sure he knows more than he's told you. I do have one concern, though.
Just one concern?
You see right through me, Outlander. I have more worries than a Kwama queen has eggs. I'm talking about Chodala's sister. Seren claims to want to help, to want peace, but I don't trust her. Seek out Barrelzar, but be wary of the Ashlander's sister.
I'll return to Barrelzar's tower and see if he knows how we can circumvent Chodala's staff.